Hello, good day, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you're watching from, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Michael, and this is my mode fashion tutorial. Okay, in our last video, we talked about how to take measurements. Now, in continuation of that video, because what we did the last time was how to take measurement of the upper torso, that is the bodice. Okay, the upper part of the garment is called the bodice, and we learned how these measurements could be taken. Now, in continuation of that, we are going to be looking at how to take measurements for the lower torso, okay, or the lower parts of the body, which has to do with, okay, for of course the measurements you take for the lower parts of your body are for skirts, trousers, and so on and so forth. So these are what we're going to be looking at. So I'm going to be bringing my model back, okay, to the spotlight, so we can take our measurements as regarding the lower parts or the lower torso, the lower part of the body. Okay, please, if you're just joining this channel, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment on this channel. Okay, this channel promises to bring a whole lot, and we're here to debunk a lot of fashion errors and fashion faults. Please don't leave the dial. We'll be back. All right, you're welcome back. Okay, this is my model we have here. The last time she was the same person I used. Her name is Thier. She's actually my kid sister, so we used her for the for measurements the last time. Had to do with the bodies. When we talk about the bodies, we talk about the upper part of the garments. So those are the measurements we took the last time. So this time around, the measurements we are about taking, you can see we have been able to accentuate where the waist line is. Okay, so it's very necessary you get your waistline right, so that you don't appear longer on the upper torso and shorter on the lower torso, okay? Or vice versa, probably you are shorter or you are longer on the lower torso and you are shorter on the upper torso, okay? So it's necessary you accentuate your waistline very well. Please, if you have not seen my last video, please go look at my last video, go watch my last video to be able to understand what I'm talking about by accentuating the waist, okay? So at this point in time, taking measurement for the lower torso has to do with, okay, probably you want to make tailored skirts, or you want to have skirts that will be attached to a bodice, okay, dresses with waistlines, also for trouser, also for jumpsuits, okay? So that's the essence of taking measurement of the lower torso. So starting with our measurement for the lower torso, we are going to be taking our crotch depth. Over here I have the charts, okay? I have the chart here, and the first one I have there is the crotch depth. So how do you take the crotch depth? Okay, first things first is to ask your model to sit on a flat surface, okay? Now, while sitting on that flat surface, we're going to take the measurement of the crotch depth, you remember. And this is how to take the crotch depth measurement. You actually place your tape where the waistline is, that is where the elastic is, to the point where she's sitting, that's to the sit point. And what I have here as a crotch depth is 11 inches. Okay, you can be on your feet right now. Okay, the next on the line I'm going to take is I'm going to take a crotch length. Now this is how to take crotch length measurement, starting from the what's it called, the waistline, taking it across like can you turn back, okay, to the point where you have your elastic here, okay, for the purpose of demonstration. So to the point where you have your elastic here. I'm sorry, your dress does not fit snugly, but we could still do our best to take the best of the measurement. So I have about 29 inches for crotch length. I have about 29 inches for crotch. So sorry, 29.5 inches for crotch length. Now, why do you need the crotch length and the crotch depth? Just in case you want to be making a high-waisted trouser. Okay, it starts from here. This will be the waistline. For a high-waisted trouser, this is actually the waistline. Okay, or probably you want to join a trouser to a bodice, having a jumpsuit. That is where you take it all. So the crotch depth is actually different from the crotch length. Now, the next on the list of measurements we want to take is that we want to take side waist measurements to knee. This is where our knee point is. side waist measurement to knee. Okay, side waist measurement to knee is ours is about 23 inches. Now taking it to the ankle that's to the bone at the ankle there, we have 39 inches, and to floor we have 41.5 inches. So we've been able to take our side waist to knee, side waist to ankle, and side waist to floor measurements. Okay, now the next we're going to be looking at is the upper thigh measurements. Okay, this is how you take the upper thigh measurement. This is for trouser right now, for a fitted trouser. Okay, this is 21 inches for the knee. This is 14.5 inches for the ankle. This is 10 inches for the foot entry. There's something called foot entry. Okay, it depends on how you want your leg to fit closely to the trouser. I have about 13 inches for the foot entry. Okay, now there are other measurements we take, like we take the calf circumference. This is the calf circumference, and for the calf circumference we have about 13 inches too for the calf circumference. Other measurements we have here are center front to floor. Now this will help you for a balanced skirt. By the time you start working with the tailored skirt, you will know how to impute this measurement. For a center front to floor, we have about 40 inches. Can you turn backwards? Okay. Now, for the center back to floor, we have 40.5 inches. Okay, 40.5 inches. All right. So we are actually done on how to. Now there's something called the side waist to hip measurements. There's something called the side waist to hip depth. Okay, the side waist to hip depth. Okay, for the fashion standard, an average adult has an hip depth of about 8 inches from the waist to the hip of an average adult in fashion industry is about 8 inches. However, for a customized garment, okay, for Miss Petites and juniors, you could have about 6 inches, 7 inches. You could even have 9 inches, depending on the height of the person or how tall the person is. Okay, so how do we ascertain this now without even taking the measurement of this? What I just do is that I just take my measurement, my waist to knee measurements, okay, divided by 3, and one part of it is my hip depth. So for example, I have about 23 inches from my waist to the knee. Give me about 7.66. In approximation, it will be about 7.67, which is 5/8 or 7/5/8, okay, of an inch. Please, if you have not checked how to read this tape measurement, I have a video on that, please, and I'll place the link below this video for us, at least for you to go back to it and look into it. So that's how I get my hip depth. So it differs with individuals, but if you want to look at standard, talking about ready to wear, for an average adult it's 8 inches. For a Miss Petites and juniors, you have about 6 inches, 7 inches, depending. You even have up to like 9 inches, depending on the height of the model you are working with. Okay, so this is a simple way to get your side waist to side hip depth, which is measurement of your waist to your knee divided by 3, and that is how you get your side hip depth. Okay, now for the last measurement we are going to be taking right now, we're going to be taking our ham measurement. Okay, personal ham measurement. That's what we are going to be working on. So as please, I would like you to have your hand akimbo, okay, as we take our personal ham measurement. Okay, for an overarm length, we start from the shoulder here down to this point where you have the wrist bone, and for me here I have about 22.5. Now to the elbow is about 12 inches. So the elbow is about 12 inches. Now for the bicep For the bicep, this is what I have. I have about 10.5 inches. Okay. Now, anytime you're working with the bicep, please don't forget, always add 2 inches for ease. Okay. So as I have 10.5 here, if I add 2 inches to it, it will be about 12.5. Okay. My elbow bend. Can you have your hands like this for me? Yes. My elbow bend is this way. Okay, I have 10 inches for my elbow bend. Okay. And my wrist would be 6 inches. Now taking the measurement of this also for some likely garments, okay, probably garments with cuff and thereabout. So I have 8.5 inches. Okay, so our cap heights, there are actually standard charts of how to get cap heights, okay, of how to use cap height for different models. But however, from this channel, we are going to be learning how to get our own cap height for our sleeve. We're going to be learning. So at this moment, we have come to the end of this episode for this channel. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and comment. We promise you to bring you something great in our next video. I'm so excited to bring you that finally we are starting with our pattern drafting in our next video. See you till then. Have a nice time. Bye.